If you think this Chiefs offseason has been quiet, it's because you haven't seen what just dropped today. 3 bombs landed at the same time, and nobody is connecting the dots yet. Daniel Jeremiah just said a name at pick number 9 that changes everything, and it's not who you think. Bill Barnwell is pushing Brett Veach to make a bold move on draft night using those McDuffie picks, and the player he's targeting is a freak. And Kenneth Walker, his contract just got called one of the worst signings of the entire offseason. And the reasoning is tough to argue with. Drop a like right now and let's get into it. Because what's happening with Jeremiah Love and pick 9 could flip this whole draft on its head. Alright, so here's the deal. All offseason long, every single mock draft was sending Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love to Kansas City, and it made perfect sense, right? Pacheco didn't get it done consistently, Kareem Hunt was up and down all year, and both of them are gone now. The Chiefs needed a running back, badly. Then the Kenneth Walker signing happened. 3 years, $43 million, Super Bowl MVP coming off a legendary playoff run in Seattle. And just like that, everyone stopped mocking Love to KC. The conversation was over. Done. Move on. Except, it's not over. Not even close. Daniel Jeremiah, the lead draft analyst over at NFL Network, the guy who does this for a living, just went on the Joel Klatt show and basically said if Jeremiah Love is sitting there at pick 9, all bets are off. The Chiefs are taking him. He doesn't care that Walker just got paid. He thinks Kansas City would be crazy to pass on this kid. And honestly, when you hear his reasoning, it starts to make a lot of sense. Jeremiah pointed out that Walker and Charbonnet were a 2-back system in Seattle. That's how they won a championship. You don't just ride one guy into the ground. You rotate, you keep guys fresh, you attack defenses from different angles. And now, with Mahomes coming back from injury, the Chiefs want to ease him in. They brought Eric Bieniemy back as coordinator specifically to get that run game cooking again. So imagine having Walker and Love splitting carries. 2 guys who can run it and catch it at an elite level. But here's the part that really got my attention. Jeremiah said Love isn't just a running back. This dude could line up in the slot and be the best slot receiver in the entire draft class. That's not a small thing. Think about it. The Chiefs don't really have a true slot guy right now. Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy are burners. They're taking the top off the defense. Rashee Rice can work the middle of the field, but that's not really his natural position. Love would fill a hole that nobody's even talking about. So yeah, on the surface, you look at it and say, why would KC draft a running back when they just paid one? But when you break it down, Love isn't just a running back. He's a weapon. He's a chess piece that Andy Reid would absolutely lose his mind over. And if he's there at 9, don't be surprised if that card comes in with his name on it. Now, if Love at 9 wasn't enough to get your head spinning, wait until you hear what ESPN is saying the Chiefs should do with their draft capital, because there's a scenario where Veach doesn't just pick at 9, he trades up, and the target, a monster out of Ohio State. So let's talk about the ammunition the Chiefs are sitting on right now. When they traded Trent McDuffie to the Rams, they got back 4 picks, including pick 29 in the first round. That means Kansas City is rolling into draft night with 9 total selections, and 4 of them are in the top 100. That's a loaded hand of cards. And ESPN's Bill Barnwell just came out and said, use them, go big. Don't just sit at 9 and hope your guy falls. Be aggressive. His argument is pretty simple and honestly hard to disagree with. The Chiefs almost never pick this high. They're always at the bottom of the first round, grabbing guys who turn out to be decent, but not game changers. Karlaftis, Anudike Uzoma, Xavier Worthy. Solid players, sure, but none of them turned into that dominant force you dream about on draft night. When you're picking in the top 10, you get a real shot at a difference maker, and that doesn't happen often for a team like KC. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The name Barnwell floated is Arvil Reese out of Ohio State. This kid is a freak athlete. He can play off-ball linebacker. He can rush the edge. He can do a little bit of everything, and the word is he's one of the few guys in this draft who could actually cause a team to trade up. If Spagnuolo gets his hands on Reese, good luck to the rest of the AFC. Barnwell's idea is to package pick 9 and pick 29 to move up into the top 5 or 6 range and maybe get a day 2 pick thrown back in the deal. That way you land your guy, someone like Reese or even Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey, without completely emptying the clip. And Barnwell dropped a nice little reminder on the last time the Chiefs drafted a Texas Tech guy, it worked out pretty well. That was Patrick Mahomes, by the way. The bottom line is this: KC has the picks, they have the flexibility, and they're in a rare position to swing for the fences. The question is whether Brett Veach has the guts to pull the trigger. But here's the thing that makes all of this even crazier. While we're talking about adding new weapons through the draft, there's already a big question mark sitting in the backfield because Kenneth Walker's deal just got put on blast, and the criticism is brutal. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport just dropped his list of the worst free agent signings this offseason, and Kenneth Walker's deal with the Chiefs came in at number 2 on the worst list. That stings. And look, nobody is saying Walker is a bad player. The dude won Super Bowl MVP. He ran for over 300 yards with 4 touchdowns in 3 playoff games when Charbonnet went down. He showed up when it mattered most. That's not the issue. The issue is the money. $14.3 million a year makes him the 4th highest paid running back in the league. $28.7 million guaranteed, 3rd most at the position, for a guy who has never had 230 carries in a single season, never played 600 snaps. Last year was literally the first time he made it through all 17 games healthy. That's the resume you're paying top 4 money for. And here's what really hurts. The Chiefs didn't have money to burn. They had a tight cap situation and they chose to spend what little they had on Walker. Think about what that cost them. They couldn't keep Trent McDuffie. Jalen Watson walked. Leo Chenal, gone. Brian Cook, gone. 4 quality starters at premium positions, traded or lost, while the team invested heavily in a running back who still hasn't proven he can handle a full workload. The backup situation doesn't help either. Right now, it's Amari Demarcado and Brashard Smith fighting for RB2, and neither one of those guys scares anybody, so Walker isn't just getting paid like a workhorse. He's being set up to carry the load like one, and that's a big ask for a guy with his injury history. Look, I love what Veach is trying to do, but did we really pay Kenneth Walker $14 million a year just to maybe draft another running back at 9? Something doesn't add up. What do you think? Was Walker worth it? Drop your take in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss a single Chiefs update this draft season.